Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. If you're into the Second Amendment news, hit that subscribe button down below and join this growing freedom family and help the channel get to its goal of 500,000 subscribers. Never ever thought I'd even be close. And also to that note, if you are a subscriber, check your subscriptions. YouTube's doing the purge again that they do every couple months on stale or fake accounts, so double check your subscription. And I'm going to tell you today about a bill that looks to make you owning a firearm kind of illegal unless you do all kinds of things that the government can track, including constitutional carry. This would get rid of constitutional carry. Before I jump into that, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, and that is Arms List. On Arms List, you can search it for your local area and have face-to-face transactions of all kinds of things, long and short, that we like in this community. And if you want to search outside of your area, there's a network of over 1,300 FFLs. I've used it several times myself to great success, and I've been very satisfied. Check them out, armslist.youknowwhat, and as a member, there's a very low monthly membership, but it opens you up to all of the benefits of the Arms List marketplace. Check them out, you know how to find them. It's armslist.youknowwhat. Can't put the link down here, but thank you to Arms List for being a friend of the channel. Let's get into this bill. This bill this year is HR 7730. I'll have it linked down below, but I'll tell you right now that the verbiage isn't uploaded to congress.gov yet, but I know this bill well because it's been submitted 6 times already by U.S. Representative Bobby Rush out of the Chicago area of Illinois. He re-announced this bill 2 days ago on the 11th, along with his partner in crime on the Senate side, Tammy Duckworth. Now, this bill is named after a teenager who was shot and killed on a Chicago transit bus. He died saving a classmate while a gang member was trying to get another gang member. They kind of caught in the crossfire. And his name is Blair Holt. So if you've heard of this bill, it is called the Blair Holt Firearms Licensing and Record of Sale Act. That's what it's been known for forever. It was submitted in 2007, 2009, 2013, 2018, 2019, and just now in 2022. Same cat keeps putting it through. And this bill is 48 pages long, if I remember right. I'll pull an older version of it and post it down below so that you can read it if you want to. It's a very, very long bill. It's so convoluted that it has its own table of contents with hot links. So that tells you everything you need to know. With bills that long, there's a lot of stuff put in there that is looking to mask the truth behind the bill. And I'm going to tell you what this bill does. I still have my notes from yonder, and I'm going to read this to you just to watch your head roll. And this bill is even more worthy of us watching, even though it's never passed before. It's worthy now of watching because they can get it through the House, the Democrats, they can get it through the Senate, they have the tie break, and this would make constitutional carry, which constitutional carry bills really aren't needed because shall not be infringed means shall not be infringed. The right is given to us when we're born by our creators. It's enshrined and recognized in the Constitution. We don't get that right from government. They think they give it to us, and they're trying to take it away. So this would address constitutional carry states by saying that you need to have a license to have a gun. And I'm going to run down this list of craziness, like I said. So basically, this would make owning any rifle or pistol illegal unless it's registered with the government. You're fingerprinted. You supply a driver's license. You supply your social security number. You submit to a physical and mental evaluation at a place that the government tells you to go at their convenience. Each time someone sells or purchases a gun, $25 fee. Now the new version might have raised that, but it was $25 back in the day. Failure to pay that fee, you lose your license, you lose your ability, you lose your right to defend yourself because the government wants their money. There's also a provision for if you have children in the house, they're under 18, you have to have it locked and secured at all times unless it's physically in your control. And government has the right, they think, to come and inspect at any time to make sure that your guns are locked and secured. And if it's not, it's a 5-year prison sentence. And not to mention the $25 fee for transfers. If you don't do that, that's a year in jail too for each occurrence. So you get a year for not reporting to the government and paying them $25 that you sold a gun or bought a gun. And if they show up at the door and you let them in and they realize You haven't had all your stuff secured the way that they want, 5 years in jail. Now that I have your attention, I'm going to put on screen some of the quotes of these two ass clowns, Bobby Rush and Tammy Duckworth. And first, Representative Rush. Gun violence has needlessly claimed the lives of too many children, and I have repeatedly introduced this common sense legislation to prevent more families' lives being shattered by bullets. Although we cannot prevent all deaths, we can eliminate unnecessary risks and give law enforcement and communities better tools to keep guns away from people who have no business using them. I thank Senator Duckworth for working with me to push this bill forward. All right, guys and gals, it's even on my forearm. That's the Second Amendment. That's how much this means to me. And it says, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Nowhere in there does it say, unless you have no business using them. Who died and made Bobby Rush someone who can tell us, the free American people, when we have the business using a firearm? And also, I'm preaching to the choir and I know this, but it has to be said. There are people out there that are so stupid, I call them sheeple, that they believe this BS. You cannot pass a law that's going to make criminals say, oh, you know what? That's it. This new law now I am going to follow it. Come on, man. Like, I can't believe people fall for it, but they do. Let's talk about Senator Duckworth and what she had to squawk about. I don't want my daughters to have to grow up in a country that won't protect them from gun violence. We owe it to the countless and growing number of gun violence victims to take action, which is why I'm proud to continue working with Congressman Rush on this common sense solution to help prevent firearms from falling into the wrong hands. We will keep pushing until our nation's schools, offices, and public spaces are safe from gun violence. There is no way you can stop criminals or legislate the evil in the hearts and minds of men and women. And there's no such thing as utopia filled with unicorns and rainbows. Please don't fall for this BS, guys and gals. I mean, I know we're on the same team, but we all know people who would eat this stuff up like it was on sale 2 for 1. Now I'm going to put on screen the rest of their statement. It says the Blair Holt Firearms Licensing and Record Sale Act is modeled in part after the Illinois Firearm Owners Identification Card statute. Well, that's been deemed unconstitutional a couple times now. So let's just make a federal law that's modeled after it, because that would be unconstitutional too. I continue. Protect the public against the unreasonable risk of injury and death associated with the unrecorded sale or transfer of qualifying firearms to unlicensed individuals. Make sure that owners of qualifying firearms are knowledgeable in the safe use, handling, and storage of those firearms. Restrict the availability of qualifying firearms to criminals, children, and other persons prohibited by federal law from receiving firearms. Require universal background checks for all purchases or transfers of firearms, and facilitate the tracing of qualifying firearms used in crime by federal and state law enforcement agencies. Okay, so it's not the government's responsibility to keep anybody safe. That's your responsibility. 2, the government can't tell me how to utilize my right and what knowledge I have to have before I can have my right, because I don't get it from them. 3, another law about federally prohibited people is not required because there's already laws on the books about federally prohibited people. That's a waste. 4, require universal background checks. That's a registry. And 5, to facilitate the tracing of firearms. That already happens. This is just a masquerade to make sure that you can't have access to all of the firearms that they don't want you to have. Oh, and you need to have their license. You got to pay them money, go to training, have a mental and physical screening when they want you to. And then they'll decide if you're good enough to have some type of neutered gun that they think is qualifying. So I just thought I'd give you guys some education to start the day. I want to thank my friends, John Petrolino and Charlie Cook. They gave me the heads up on this, that it was resubmitted. I thought it was dead last time, but it just keeps coming back and keeps coming back and keeps coming back. But they have the makeup right now on the federal level that makes me watch this even more, because they can basically ram it through and we can't stop it unless we get a Democrat senator like Joe Manchin to stop it. And I don't want to have the rights of the people to keep and bear arms teeter-tottering on one senator who is a Democrat. If you know what I mean. Guys and gals, thank you for your time. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Please check out the sponsor, and the links for all of the information I talked about will be down below. Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this for you. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below if I've earned it. And until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe, because that's what the Second Amendment is for, whether or not politicians like it or not. Peace.